Happy New Year and welcome back. All right, we're talking about PBIS today. So today is 1/1/18. It's the first day of the new year. You're going to be coming back this Wednesday, and so will your students. It's a great time to review expectations, practices, policies, procedures, all that, so our students remember what we expect, and we're showing them and modeling them what we'd like them to do. I'm going to flip the camera around and talk to you about a couple changes that we made through working with the PBIS team and myself. One thing that I found is as I've been calling parents this year, I have overwhelmingly had great conversations with parents saying that they're getting lots of communications home via academics, attendance, and behaviors. But I am noticing that we're still having, sometimes if I call a student at the end of the month where they've had 5 or more refocuses, sometimes the parent has never found out. Or they've gone to conferences, they heard everything was great, so they're very surprised when I call them to tell them their student had 5 or more refocuses in a month. So I realized we kind of had a gap on our tiered system. This is what I introduced at the beginning of the year, so we're going to modify it. I will still crunch the numbers and get everything prepared like I have been and email you, but the first time a student has 3 or more refocuses in a week, it's going to be the classroom teachers. So either everybody on your team can call that parent, or one person from your team can call the parent. The second time, it's a tiered approach. It goes to the counselor. The counselor will call the parent and talk to them about the 3 or more refocuses in a week. And the third time the student has 3 or more refocuses in a week, that'll be administration. Now, again, obviously we have students that are already past this point. I'm not going to ask you to go back and talk to parents that I've already been talking to all year, but as new students come up and that goes, we will follow this tiered system. I will email you to let you know who I need you to contact. The next change, announcements. So we always talk about trying to stay consistent with PBIS and the message, but sometimes it gets dropped due to all the different things that are going on at the beginning of the day. So Miss Nally had made us this great sheet which has our positive, respectful, all of our pieces to pride in here, and there's a PBIS focus on the beginning of each one of these days for our announcements. So for example, this one shows that we are focusing on pride on the playground, and we talk about what that is. This way, when whoever does the announcements, besides all the other announcements on there, we have all the pieces to pride so we can stay consistent. And then the next week it'll be showing pride in the classroom or whatever that might be. So that's something new that we're going to try to keep us very consistent on that message. The other thing, starting this Friday, is the goal and reflection log. Now, I know some of you have not had a chance to hand it out or crack it open, and that's fine, but I know some of you have also started this. Either way, this Friday will be the first day for everyone, if you haven't had an opportunity. Have your students write their name on it. This stays in class. It does not travel with them, and we're going to be doing this in their Block 1 class. Open it up to January. We're going to talk to our students about setting a goal. So you will actually go down here to this spot right here, the second one. Students are going to set themselves a pride goal. So maybe their goal is to have 0 refocuses or only get 1 refocus or work on shouting out the answer or whatever that might be. And they're also going to set an attendance goal. My goal this week is to have 0 attendances, and how am I going to do that? I'm going to go to sleep on time, whatever that might be. But again, it's brief, it's very short. Now, the next week, the next Friday, they will reflect on their goal that they wrote here, and they will set a new goal. So again, we're only doing this on Fridays. We're only doing it during Harmony on Fridays. So this is not taking extra time out of your classroom. Other than the first time, we know it's going to take a little bit longer. So again, we are starting this Friday. And last but not least, the discipline matrix. I've adjusted a little bit, and I still have a couple more tweaks. Otherwise, I'd send you a copy. When it comes down to the make it rights, and you're deciding, should I place a phone call to the office to have the student picked up, or should I keep the student in class and fill out the form? Either way, it's still a make it right. If you're going to pick up the phone and dial 0, I really need it to be because the student is out of control and you cannot teach, or they are disrupting severely the learning of others. We will definitely support you and pull the student out of the classroom. If the student can still remain in the classroom in an alternate spot, even though they might be sitting there not doing nothing, at least they're hearing the academic conversations that are going on. Still fill out the form, and myself and or Cesar we'll be responding to that Make It Right. Now, either way, either side of this, it's still a Make It Right. It really comes down to emergencies. So is this situation safe, and can other students learn? If students cannot learn because this student is being very disruptive and it's not safe, you got to dial 0. We will come and respond. But again, if they can remain there, that's what we want to do. Other than that, those are the biggest changes to Pride and PBIS for this next year. If you have questions or any other concerns, please let me know. The 4th, this Thursday, you're going to be doing your CSL on Pride, and you have your data from 10/19 to the end of December. You'll be able to look at your PBIS data as well as your attendance data. That's it for me. If you have questions,